Coming up on Takedown with Chris Hansen, running from the Polk County, Florida Sheriff's Office is never a good idea.
Now, resisting!
And neither is getting caught in one of my investigations.
You said you had 2 jobs.
I give tours.
Tours of what?
Sites that are haunted.
You feel a little bit haunted yourself now?
Hey everyone, Chris Hansen here. I hope you're enjoying this free full episode of Takedown. But there's something else you need to know. We have almost 100 new episodes on my streaming crime network, WatchTrueBlue.com. Use the code YouTube24 for half off your first month, or YouTube Year for $20 off a full year. We'll see you soon on True Blue. Inside the Sting House, Operation Cyber Guardian is intensely underway in Polk County, Florida. Detectives posing as underage girls and boys are getting bombarded with message after message from men looking for sex.
It got dark.
One of them is this guy. He's 28-year-old Brandon of Kissimmee, Florida. The detectives fill me in on the text chat and give me some unsettling background information.
Works for Walt Disney World.
So he works for Disney?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Or that's his last known employment. I don't know if it's current, but last.
The date says 7/10 of 18 to August 13th of 24.
So up until recently he worked, at least it appears, for Disney.
Yeah.
Does it say what he did for Disney?
No, sir. It just says Walt Disney World.
How would you characterize his chat?
Quick, actually.
So he's sort of a fast mover.
Yeah, he's very quick to want to hang out, didn't really want to say what he wanted to do. Mentioned cuddling, mentioned wanted to watch a movie, hang out. And then he was like, oh, maybe make out, oh, maybe have sex. And when I had confirmed that he wanted to have sex, he's like, oh, yeah, definitely, yeah, I want to have sex. And it's not going to hurt for me, because I asked him if it's going to hurt. Then he said he's going to bring a condom.
And there's no question, he knows
Yeah.
he's talking to a 14-year-old.
Correct. He told me that he's never done anything with a 14-year-old before.
He seems excited by that.
Yeah.
And she's playing the role of a virgin in this case?
Yes, sir.
So he could be 25, 30 minutes out then?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get in position.
The Polk County deputies and I get ready for Brandon's arrival. And I've got a feeling this takedown could be shocking.
Go time. Stand your back! Now, resisting! Oh, good something. What's something?
Still tagged with the taser barbs, Brandon is cuffed and led back into the Sting House.
Brandon, what are you looking for? Straight head. Search.
He's searched
Condom in his back left pocket. Car key in his front right pocket.
and brought upstairs for processing and to contemplate his life choices. I watch, listen, and consume the text chat that brought Brandon here to meet with an underage girl. Probably still a little shaken up by the taser jolt, it's my turn to get inside Brandon's mind and find out why this Disney employee came to meet with a child.
Hey, Brandon, how you doing? How'd you get here tonight?
I drove.
You drove. But what was going on that led you to be here tonight?
Honestly, I'm not really sure what was going through my head. Like I told them, I am going through a rough spot. It wasn't really a great day for me.
What happened today that made it not a great day?
Just, I felt alone.
You felt alone?
I'm with someone, but I felt alone.
So you're engaged, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, sir.
That's all right. That's all right. You're engaged. And how long have you been with this particular woman?
Going on 3 years.
3 years. And how is the relationship?
I'm sorry.
How is the relationship?
How is it?
Yeah.
It has its ups and downs.
Ups and downs.
Yeah.
And did you work today?
I didn't.
You did not. You had the day off. What were you doing today?
Originally, I was at home. She left and went to get a new phone. And I kind of stayed home to myself. And then when she finally came home, she kind of just was to herself, looking on her phone, wasn't really talking to me, wasn't really interacting with me as much. And when I was trying to talk to her and interact with her, it wasn't really getting too much, so I was kind of feeling alone.
You were feeling alone. So you went on this app. And how many people did you chat with today on this app?
Maybe one or two.
One or two. And what led you to this particular person, this 14-year-old girl?
I was getting the attention that I was kind of wanting and just kind of kept going.
Take me through the conversation. Initially, you talk about coming over to cuddle.
Right. So officially, the first part was more of, I was saying that, we can come over, we can watch a movie, we can talk, stuff like that. And then she kept asking, is that it? And then after that, I said, oh, I mean, it's not like we're gonna be doing any intimacy. And then after that, moved on, and then I said that we can cuddle, and then maybe sex. And
Maybe sex. So you said
maybe
sex.
I did.
What do you think would have happened, Brendan, had you come over here and there was a 14-year-old girl and you watched Netflix and you cuddled and we weren't here? What do you think would have happened?
And like I was telling them on my way here, even after I said that, I was in my head thinking, this is not a good idea. I shouldn't be having sex with someone this age. And I was going to tell her, even if I did come over and hang out with her, I didn't want to do anything.
But what made you think it was okay to come over to hang out even with a 14-year-old girl? This is a child.
Honestly, I don't know.
I don't know isn't a great answer, son.
It's wasn't really the best intentions in my head. I feel it was just more of I wanted to have some type of, connection, some type of attention.
Why not find somebody who is of legal age?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
No, sir.
Again, Brandon, that's not a great answer, son.
I understand that.
Because here's what I think, is that if you came over here and there was a 14-year-old girl here, and we were not here, I think you probably would have had sex with her. And I think you know that I'm right.
I honestly wasn't even intentionally going to do it.
I know, but you're here, Brendan.
I know, I understand.
You're here. You brought condoms.
The condom was originally in my pants pocket, or no matter
Okay,
what.
you brought a condom. Mm-hmm. You talked about sex.
I did.
And you were going to at least cuddle, and you kept your mind open to the possibility of having sex with this child.
I did.
So it stands to reason that given the opportunity with a vulnerable child, you probably would have had sex with her. Am I wrong here?
It could have been a possible.
Could have been a possible thing. And what damage do you think that could have done to a 14-year-old girl?
Scarred her.
Scarred her. For life.
It could have.
She asks you in the chat, will it hurt? And you basically say, well, it's not going to hurt you. You're the man. You're just going to have your way with her. Just doesn't sound right, Brandon.
I get what you mean.
You see where I'm coming from.
Yes, sir.
And what do you do for a living, Brandon?
I have 2 jobs.
2 jobs. And what are they?
I work for Disney.
Disney. And what do you do for Disney?
I'm a lifeguard.
You're a lifeguard.
Yes, sir.
So you guard people at a pool.
Yes, sir.
And some of those people are children.
Yes, sir.
and you watch those children swim in their bathing suits.
Yes, sir.
Knowing what we know now, you see the picture that I'm putting together in my head. Here's a guy who shows up to have sex with a 14-year-old girl, and he spends his days protecting children at a pool.
Yes, sir.
If you're a parent of one of those kids, how are you feeling right now?
Not great.
Not great.
Yes, sir.
So you got a guy who came into a sting house to have sex with a child, who's got a job with Disney, guarding children dressed in swimsuits at a pool. Do you ever have sexual thoughts about those children?
I do not. Honestly.
But you're here.
I know, but I do not. I can honestly tell you that.
You understand why I'm skeptical.
Yes, I understand, but I can tell you right now I do not.
How are the folks at Disney gonna feel about this?
They're not gonna like it.
That's an understatement. You have a child?
I do.
And how old is your child?
She's 5.
She's 5.
Yes, sir.
And how would you feel, Brendan, if a grown man walked into the home where your child was after having a sexually charged conversation?
I wouldn't like it.
What would you do to that fellow?
I would be calling the police.
You would what?
I would call the police.
And here you are. Have you ever met anybody online for sex before, Brandon?
No, on an app, but not in this kind of situation, no.
What do you mean by that?
As in like minors or anything like that.
So you've met people online with whom you've had sex,
Yes,
but you're saying that none of them was
with
under-
minors. No,
Why tonight?
I honestly, like I said just a little bit ago, it was more of the, I was seeking attention because I wasn't getting the attention, and it
That's
was
a
the first thing
that's a
that
weak excuse.
that's the only answer I have.
Have you ever been to therapy for your issues?
No,
What do you say to your fiance?
what did I say or what?
What do you say to your fiance now that you've been busted in a sting operation trying to have sex with a 14-year-old child, a girl?
That I messed up, and that I don't deserve the forgiveness that
You don't deserve forgiveness.
I don't.
How do you think this is going to play with her?
It's not gonna play well.
Her parents,
Same,
your family.
same.
What do you think should happen to you, Brandon?
Just as it's gonna happen, I should go to jail.
You should go to jail.
Yes, sir.
And how can anyone here be convinced that you'll never do this again?
I would have to get the help that I should get. And then with that, I would have to just make sure that I'm knowing that I shouldn't be going on dating apps or anything like that. I shouldn't be doing anything like that. If I'm going to be in a relationship, I should be faithful.
What was going through your mind when you walked up to the door of this house?
That it wasn't a good idea.
That it wasn't a good idea, but you did it.
Yes.
You could have turned around.
And I honestly almost did. When I parked the first time, I got out and then I turned around and I got back into my car and I was driving away. But then I parked again, and then that's when I didn't leave again.
Help me to understand what made you to decide to walk into this house to see this 14-year-old girl.
I don't really know what my need for it would have been. I just know that I wanted some type of attention, and
This
I
is
was
a
gaining-
child, Brendan. A child.
I get that.
You said you had 2 jobs. You talked about the lifeguard job at Disney.
It's
What's the other
just
job?
a side job. I work for a ghost tour company.
A ghost tour company. And what do you do for the ghost tour company?
I give tours.
Tours of what?
Downtown Orlando sites that are haunted. Areas that are haunted.
You feel a little bit haunted yourself now?
Yes.
So where do you take this from here?
I seek the help that I need.
Well, Brandon, I'm Chris Hansen,
Okay.
and I do stories on men who try to meet children for sex. Have you seen any of those Predator stories?
I don't.
You've never
I
seen
don't
them?
watch them.
You don't watch the TV.
No, I don't watch Predator stories or anything like that. I mean, I watch TV, just not that.
Just not that. Have you ever seen him or heard of him?
I mean, I've heard
Okay.
stuff like that, yeah.
And what do you think about those fellows that show up in those stories?
I think that there's a lot of them that are really, really crazy. Most of them, actually all of them.
And,
Really
and
crazy.
now you're one of them.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want people to know about your situation, Brandon?
No.
Okay. All right, well, these folks are going to take you from here. Do you want to say anything to your fiance, your daughter, any family members before you go?
No. I'm sorry.
What do you say to other fellows who might be thinking about doing this?
Don't do it. It's the wrong idea.
Okay. All right, well, thanks for talking to me. I appreciate it. These fellows are going to take you from here, all right?
Okay.
That guy should come call me.
Okay.
Who's doing my weird?
Yes, Brendan admitted what he was doing was wrong and illegal, but the thing I can't get out of my head is that you got a guy who's a lifeguard at a resort where families are paying thousands of dollars to entertain their children, and this guy is sitting in a lifeguard chair looking at those little children in their swimsuits. That just ain't right. Brandon was charged with use of a two-way communication device to commit a felony, traveling to meet after using a computer to lure a child, lewd and lascivious battery to a minor, and resisting officers without violence. We'll keep you posted on the case against him.
He tried to have sex with a 14-year-old little girl. Newsflash, he is a lifeguard at Disney Art of Animation Resort. So he gets to be a lifeguard and sit up and look at children all day long while Disney's paying him.
It's often at night, sometimes very late, that these men get caught and arrested in Polk County. But it's what they do during the daytime that is so alarming to Sheriff Brady Judd. And that's exactly the case with this Disney lifeguard, Brandon. So this is a guy who had access to underage children all day long in his job, and here he is in your sting house trying to meet a 14-year-old girl.
Chris, I don't know that we've ever done an undercover operation that we haven't arrested a Disney employee. And this one is a lifeguard that sits and watches children all day long. It's horrible. And oh, by the way, wasn't he the one that's engaged to be married? Think about that.
This man, Brandon, told me, Sheriff, that the reason he did this was because his fiance wasn't paying attention to him. He wasn't getting enough of what he needed in life, so he decides to jump online and chat up a 14-year-old girl, then get in his car and head over to have sex with her.
Well, that clearly shows he's got a hitch in his giddy-up, because your adult fiance is not paying enough attention to you. And your answer to that is to go out prowling for a 14-year-old little girl, a child. He's dangerous and he's sick. He's a sexual deviant. And he displayed that with his conduct. And he confessed, by the way.
The fact that he's a Disney employee and that in virtually every investigation your office has ever conducted, you find a Disney employee, does that say something about the fact that there are just so many Disney employees in that area, or does it say something about background checking and hiring practices of Disney?
Certainly, Chris, Disney employs thousands of people, and you're always going to have a bad apple every now and then. But if I were running that background operation for the bosses at Disney, I would at least have a psychological profile that gave me some hint, and I would have a detailed background investigation to back up that psychological profile, so I could say, hey, we did everything we could. We would have run a polygraph, but oh, the federal government outlawed that. But if you're going to have someone that has the ability to interact with children, you've got to know everything you can about them. And then you don't ever let them work in an environment alone with children. And you see what you got with this Disney employee here.
WatchTrueBlue.com is home to the full library of Takedown with Chris Hansen true crime documentaries and exclusive investigations.